Welcome, 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 welcome.
Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
That's a new language, just in case y'all didn't. But anyway, welcome, family, to another edition of T. Limbs Presents The Bridge. We're back, guys. You know, we miss you guys, you know, and you know, as we say, you know, put your foundation, put your brick in this foundation. You know, I'm catching up. So, again, actually, I have a public service announcement to make after I make my introductions. We have a very good show for you guys today. I want to say hello to Shirley. Hello,
Hi.
Shirley.
Oh,
I want to say hello to Twyla. No, what do you call it? Tweeba?
Stop.
Tweeba, okay.
Tweety Bird.
But
Yeah.
it's Twyla. It's Twyla, y'all. If you see the name, it ain't no dang on
Twyla Rochelle.
Tweebo.
It's Twyla Rochelle.
It's okay.
Okay.
Twyla Rochelle.
My whole life has been this way. So.
Francis.
There's a lot of things you can call me, but I'm glad you don't call me those things. So we're all right. We're cool.
Don't do it. Don't you do it. I saw the look on his face.
No, not me.
I saw the look. Are you sure?
Not me.
Go
See,
ahead.
you know, I got to ride home and you know, my hands be on the wheel. See, you know, I'm a safe driver. But anyway, hey, Francis. Hey, Teresa. You know something? Teresa is having fun. Hey, have fun. Francis, hello. Well, send a shout out to our gurus, Brother Ron and Brother Reg and Brother Stan. Those are the gurus that make this thing happen. Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, we have a dynamic show for you today. This show really will enlighten you. And we want you, like I said, put your brick in this foundation. Because you know something, we out here beating these bricks for you. So, you know something, throw a rock back at us. How about that one?
Sounds cool.
But anyway, I want to do a special, send out a special public announcement. Okay, can I do that? I'm going to do it anyway.
I was going to say, I don't hear that ass, did he?
Like I said, you know what? I am so sorry. JD's in the house.
Oh, that's not why I was pointing. But yes, abstract excellence in the building.
Abstract excellence. JD is in the house. Anthony's in the house.
Art.
Like I said,
we had.
I want to make sure that I include everybody, you know, because it's just the right thing to do. But anyway, back to my public announcement. My public announcement is this poem that I ran across, and I found it very fascinating. That you know something, and it's something that we all can get into. You know, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read a short verse of it, and please bear with me.
He doesn't have any glasses. Go ahead.
That's what I was talking about. But you know, since we're there, I'm gonna put a spell on you. Because you're mine. But anyway, and I want you guys to take this to heart, because for real, we all need to be involved in this thing that's going on with the reparations, with how our lives are going, asserting your blackness. We want you to get involved. But anyway, here's the public announcement. You need to get up, get out, and do something. How about that one? All right. Don't let the days of your life pass you by. You need to get up, get out, and do something. Don't spend all your time trying to get high. You need to get up, get out, and do something. How will you make it if you never even try? You need to get up, get out, and do something.
Tell them.
Because you and I got to do for you and I.
Shout out to Big Boy,
Tell him.
Andre 3000.
I can't get no snaps.
I only have one hand, but okay.
Okay, I'll snap for you.
Thank you.
Okay. You too, Shirley.
Listen, that was brought to you by ABS, a shameless plug.
But seriously, y'all, get out and get up and do something. You. Okay, I would do it this way, but we're already doing something. You know something? So we need your support. We need you to subscribe. We need you to get involved, because if you don't get involved, you know something? They running over us. And you can't sit back and be complacent anymore. Also, you know something? They was beating the bush. Not George, but what's his name? McConnell. Mitch McConnell. Man, they went up to his house, and you know, for the first time in a long time, a lot of black groups came together as one on one accord. You know something? They all finished the race. You know, so it didn't matter who came up with the idea or who was first, but they all crossed the finish line, and they were all up there in front of
Senator Mitch McConnell.
Okay, I'm glad y'all said that, because I was thinking of something else and it wasn't very nice.
I read your eyes.
But anyway, Mitchie, and what rhymes with Mitchie? But anyway, okay, that's a nice way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but and he was acting roof. Segway.
Well, you know,
he was.
Well, you know what he did was he made the point to talk about that he and Obama have so many things in common, because they both come from the same lineage of having slave owners in their family. So, which draws to this point.
Okay.
What Obama has said about reparations, why we should not get them. This quote is, I mean, his excuse for not being it. He said that and this is his quote, "I fear that reparations would be an excuse for some to say, we've paid our debt and to avoid the much harder work." Let me read it again. Barack Hussein Obama II in 2004 said, "I fear that reparations would be an excuse for some to say, we've paid our debt." And then he says, and to avoid the much harder work. So which much harder work was he speaking about?
I have no idea.
And how are we saying that we paid our paid our debt? Hold about the bottom line is hold.
So the debt has been paid.
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
I'm asking.
No. Okay. No. Because we didn't owe anything.
Exactly.
How do we have a debt?
And what have we gained?
We didn't owe anything.
And how has it been paid?
So how can you say that with your mouth?
What did we prosper in?
So.
Because you made president?
No.
Oh, on that note, you know something, and it's good. You know something, like I said, all of us black folks in these different groups, you know something, I'm jumping ahead, but no, I'm going to save it. Because, you know something, this past weekend, it was a bunch of events, a bunch of black events, and I'll let her tell you about it, because, you know something, again, but we came together for that Mitch stuff. You know what I mean? The various groups, and we came together as one. And that's what we really need to do is, you know, come together. We got so many groups out here. And what's good about it, and what I wanted to say is that, you know something, it made them jigaboos, they had them white folks put them up. Y'all better stop this. And they put them, they called in their nigger card. Yes, I said it, the nigger card. And so they put them niggas out there up front, you know, stop the niggers. Did I say that right? Because they're niggers. They stop the niggas. They put the niggers out there to stop the niggas.
The bottom line is
that too many niggas?
I don't know them, so I don't know.
No, because you know how some, you know.
I don't know them. Anyway. What happened was that while we were out there at these different places, we were able to network and meet a whole lot of other solid brothers and sisters. One of them is here in the studio with us today, Sharif Sharif, and he's a DMV DC freedom fighter. He's going to be presented right after our break. But I'm telling you, when I first saw this brother at the National Press Club. Yes.
And then the Mitch McConnell House.
Right. And I had to stop and look and just go, wow. Because what he did was, he didn't have to say a word. And he came full circle. And that's why we have him here today, because he won't even have to say a word so you can get the fully unpack. But he's going to say some words because he got a whole lot to say. We won't even have enough time to hear everything he has to say because he got a lot to say. We need to hear a lot. But to the point about yesterday, what we said, we went to the
Marvin Gaye Center in Washington, D.C., Northeast. And basically we met some more organizations. I forget the name. Celine was that one with the black and gold. I forget the name of it. But there were several organizations there. So like Mr. Sean was saying, it's a lot of organizations out here. The problem is that, you know, people got their own views, their own way they want to do things, their own way of thinking, but we need to come together. So that's going to be the bottom line, because there's too many blacks out here that has a lot of different things going on, you know, like their own little agenda.
Well, Shirley, you and Twyla were there for the Mitch bitch.
Oh, that was from Compliments of Compliments of Fly Nubian Queen, Jade Arendelle. Go on.
Okay, but you saw how these different organizations they headed in the right direction under one common cause.
Well, here's the one thing that I want to say about yesterday, and this ties all in, and then we'll
exactly.
Is that yesterday they had the Ross City Arts Festival.
Yes.
Yesterday they also had the second Pan-African Festival. Yesterday with DC Annual Pan-African Festival. Yesterday they also had 2 more other events. It's like everyone having events at one time.
At the same time.
And you're trying to reach out the same audience. Black people, black folks, organizations.
Organizations.
Sit down, make a day, meet up. September, October would be kind of cool, you know, and make your calendar for the next year. There's no reason why we have to try to split our time up between places just to get places. Oh, and the National United Black Back Front, they had their 40th anniversary. We went celebrate with them Friday night. Friday at the African American Civil War Museum. So they had plenary sections Saturday. We couldn't go to them.
Right.
Or did we go Thursday? Was that Thursday we went?
No, we just went
that
to
was
Friday.
That was Friday. Okay, see, we've been doing so many things. So, and then Tuesday we were with moving of black people with
Black Power.
Yeah, on in DC. So
Malik.
Yeah,
Shabazz,
and Amy. Yeah,
Black Power.
So and it's just so much. And what's happening is that you're reaching the same audience. You're not spreading out to the audiences that need to hear. The people who are here are the ones who are already in there, already out here doing this already. So sit down and get together, make a calendar. My gosh, it's annoying because you all have a lot to say, and you all but more than say, now's the time to be energized to get up and do. Which leads up to our next point. I'm a person who believes that Supreme Court justices should be mandatorily retired at age 70. Judges all around the country, just like my family members, they're judges, had to retire at age 70. And I have a few that are still judges, but when they turn 70, they have to retire. It's mandatory. There's no choice. But Supreme Court justices are appointed for life. Who does that? You have mayors who stayed, Richard Daley was mayor in Chicago, I don't know how long. John Ballard was the mayor in Akron for 18 years, plus Bullock had 26 years as mayor. I understand consistency and transition, but the thing about it is that there's other people's and new fresh ideas and stimulating. You don't want to get people so complacent, or these people who have the pockets that are deep to be able to control all the politics. Governors have term limits. Presidents have term limits. Why are congressional members don't have term limits? What's the problem? I don't have a problem with having a qualified person as my representative, but I don't believe that your voice is the only voice I need to hear for 25, 30 years.
Well,
I don't think you should be in beyond 12 years. How about that? I said it.
On that same note,
I said that.
You have grannies well, not really
I said
grannies,
that.
but grandpas now, if they can change the Bible, the laws of the Bible, saying that they don't fit today's standard, what this 80, 90-year-old man that's making laws to govern the country, because he's still stuck back there in
industrial age.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Well, wait a minute. I worked for Mr. Reagan, and the thing about working for Mr. Reagan, what we found out later on, which some people already knew, was that he was suffering from dementia when he was in office. When he said I didn't remember, man wasn't lying. he didn't remember. It didn't come out until after he got office that he was suffering from dementia, and that didn't just happen yesterday or the day before. So he had that. Okay, I'm not excusing anything that went on in his administration. I'm just saying when he said that he didn't remember. He didn't remember. Boy, he was 70 something. And I'm not saying 70 something years old is old or 80, whatever he was. The bottom line is that look at who's running for office right now for president. People are these stupid Democrats. Yeah, you are. What do you call them? Republican light? You stupid Republicans. Yeah, you are. You should not have no loyalty to any party. No loyalty to any party. Because a party doesn't work for anybody. So you have the Democrats really trying to push this Biden, Richard Hart. He's a 70-something-year-old Caucasian man. Republicans got the orange man.
45? 45?
Cheetos.
Trump.
Cheetos.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, him. Trump. Okay, Trump.
Star Kiss.
Trump.
But anyway.
And he's 70-something. Old Caucasian man. Supreme Court justice they moved up. Look around who's still on there. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She should have left under Obama's administration. That way he could have appointed someone else. But she didn't because she held on. She's not going to be able to hold on through the next administration. And I do believe that Trump's going to be reelected if nothing else happens or fails. And I believe it. You know what? I don't even have a problem with it. I said that too. And I meant it. Because I'm tired of people like Van Jones getting on the air and saying, well, black people need to be mature. And we have to eat the cost. We've been eating the cost for over 400 years in this country. We have to eat the cost and be mature to get Trump out of office. I don't care about who's in the office, Republican or Democrat. What I care about is if you care about the affairs for my people. And that doesn't have a political affiliation with it. So don't try to blame black folks because we didn't put them in there. We didn't. I know I didn't. I voted for myself. I got on a plane and went to Cairo, Egypt. I did.
Who you talking
and I'm going to do it again.
Yeah,
until I see somebody else on that ballot. And on that, we're going to take a break because my blood pressure usually stays like 100/66, and right now I feel real hot. Be right back in 30 seconds.
Everyone has a story to tell, and I know you do too. But you don't know where or how to start? Imagination Press will help you. Write, edit, and publish your book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Lulu.com, Ingram, as well as helping you reach markets across the globe. Call us today on 301-379-2709 for a free one-on-one consultation, or visit our website and send us an email, imaginationpressonline.com. Again, that's imaginationpressonline.com. Imagination Press is your complete guide to publishing, branding, and promotions. Give us a call today.
But we are angry and we're tired. So
That's
you
right.
can understand her. Don't get me started. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, don't get him started.
I don't hit the table. Like, you know what I
This
mean?
is my-
I was just
Yeah,
getting
he's
ready
gonna
to,
start
you
breaking
know.
stuff here. Don't get him started.
Okay, let me
Yeah,
blame-
and
blame-
I didn't break my, I didn't cut my hands either that day. But anyway, our guest is Sharif Sheffi. Wait a minute, let me get it right. Sharif Sheffi. That's it. So I apologize for mispronouncing his name. You're getting ready to get him right now. Dynamic. Sharif, you can tell our guest a little bit about what you do and who and what.
Let them soak that in.
Yeah.
Let them soak that in.
These are 40 pounds of chains, a little bit over 40 pounds. And I wear these all around the country. I wear them. I'm going to go to Ghana. I'm going to do a tour in Ghana, re-educating people on reparations and on slavery. And right now, America is lost on this history. Our young people are lost. Our elders are lost. And definitely our congressional personnel is lost. So what I do, I introduce myself to colleges, high schools, and places like that. Right now I'm trying to get into the middle schools and the elementary schools so that we can actually teach the young people. I believe that it should not be there should not be any platform that runs in this country if they don't talk about reparations. From middle school, running for elective office, student government, to the highest seat in the land, which is the President of the United States. If you don't have a platform on reparations, you cannot run for a seat in this America. Our people have suffered tremendously by white folks, and it's a crazy crime that has taken place. It's terror that has taken place. You have the governor, Bill Lee, in Tennessee right now, is trying to make a declaration holiday for Tennessee for the first Ku Klux Klan dragon Foster. And it's unfortunate, this guy, he was the first Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard, and he came in 1868. And for the United States to be able to sit back and participate in this nonsense, the silent people is just as guilty as the ones who is committing the act. And so that's what's going on in America. That's why we have Donald. That's why we have this guy 45. That's why we have so many white folks now that is, you notice, he's running unopposed. There's nobody running against him. You know, you got all these Democrats there to flood our memory, to keep us from being focused on one good candidate. I heard that you said something about Biden. Biden is not a good candidate. This woman Harris, she's not a good candidate. She locked up plenty of black men. You got Cory Booker and Harris. They both came into the Senate, and neither one of them ran on reparations.
Okay.
So now all of a sudden, now boom, you on reparations. You know, so there's one candidate, and understand this. There's one candidate that, if I had to get behind her, it would be the woman Williamson. Not because, and understand this, I don't trust no white people, not one. I will never trust a white person based on the fact what happened to my grandmother and my grandfather. A white man flicked a cigar into my grandmother's chest. My grandfather had to beat this man to death, and so you know how that is. So at the end of the day, I live with my grandfather's spirit. I live with my grandmother's spirit, and I just don't believe that the United States have our best interests. And if we don't take the opportunity, the table has been set. Sister, you was there in Congress, and we set the table. We set the table for Americans, for the African descendants. We set the table for them to come to the table. And we cannot allow a day go past without talking about reparations. People are going to say,
okay,
That's right.
Okay.
people are going to say, hey, it's over, it's past due, or they're going to say all these different things. They're going to try to throw you off your base. They're going to say, I heard it before. Do not stop this fight, because the table is set. It's the first time in the history of this country since they was bringing, we was here already,
Okay.
but they brought millions and millions of
again.
Africans to this land. So since the beginning of that transition, has not been a hearing on anything about reparations. There's been studies, but it has not been a hearing.
Okay.
And so now we got the Judicial Committee, we got their ear, and it's our obligation to burn their ear out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's right.
that's where I'm at. Education is very important. I talked to you about some things that it's every day. You can find something every day to learn about this fight. This fight is for everybody. It's for the little baby that's out there in the hallway.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
It's for my elders, for your elders.
That's right.
There's no in-betweens. There's no end, just like the big tiger, or the big lion. The big lion never retires. Black folks can never retire. That lion always going to have to fight. Even though he may get pushed out the pride, he still got to fight.
Okay.
He got to fight, and regardless if he circled around by 100 hyenas, he's still going to fight to the end. So
That's
that's how
right.
we got to go. And I believe today, if a bus pulled up to a lot of black folks' houses and they said slavery's back in play, I believe a lot of black folks would get on that bus freely.
Wow.
I believe
You're right about that.
you're
You
right.
are
Yeah.
absolutely right about that.
Matter of fact, they may want to drive the bus. Yeah. Take it
Yeah,
down the
well,
road.
they may
Wow,
be the driver.
wow,
Yeah, like I said, the Kumbayars are now. See, now the white folks is putting them out there to stop the black folks. So they're pulling they're playing their black card. Get out there and stop those black folks. You know what I mean? And they come out and some. Not only do we have to fight white people, but see the thing about that is that now they're being exposed. Now we're seeing who these kumbaya hours are. And so again, if you don't get out there and stop them, we're gonna stop whatever we're supplying you with or money, and they're selling us down the river.
Well, brother, when we was in Congress on June 19th, I was out in the hallway waiting to go into the meeting, and Eleanor Holmes came down the hallway. She came up the hallway at first, and didn't say anything to all these black folks that's out there in the hallway.
Get out of here.
And white folks was disturbed that we was out there. They was really pissed off about we was in their hallway because that's their white marble hallway. Mm-hmm. So Eleanor Holmes comes back, a brother in a turban, tried to get her attention. He reached for her and said, "Hey, man, I want to," and she shooed him away. Mind you, we was on the left-hand side, she was on the right-hand side. So when she shooed him away like this, out of the way, she turned her head to the right and would not speak to anybody and kept right on booking up the hallway. And I thought there was I think there was a very much, like you said, you put people in place to do what you need for them to do. She did that because she did not. She did not stop and take a picture. She didn't say, "Great job, I'm proud of you." She ain't did nothing. She's right here in a 23 by 26 mile radius. And you're going to tell me that she cannot put on a town hall meeting for the black descendants of slavery right here in this country. And the very building that she work in and the very building that she go in every day was built, and they got the ancestors under those buildings. The ancestors.
Those marble floors, as you mentioned.
You got the Supreme Court where they had stalls for black people to be there.
Yeah.
Stalls overnight. And I try to tell people, I use these chains because try to go to sleep in these. You'll be amazed. My bone right here. I started wearing these chains in 2016 when they opened up that crazy museum.
Okay.
Talking about our issues. Those are their issues. Those are their issues. So when I went into this space, I stayed out there for about 14 hours with these chains on my neck. I fast, didn't drink no water, didn't eat no food, and my bones shifted in my neck. So on this side of my neck, which is my left side, my collarbone is down. On this side of my neck, my collarbone is up. And every now and then you'll see me do this because it's painful. But can you imagine my ancestors in these chains every single day, every night? You got to work them, you're going to get beat in them, and then they're going to also make you do all other things in these chains, including rape black men in these chains. Black men was raped in these chains. And so for us to take this lightly, like I said, that bus could pull up any day, and black folks would get on that bus willingly. Because we are not standing together. You can see it in social media, how we stand in the community and watch a white man beat our children, and we sit back and say...
And videotape it. Just put it on the phone.
You know, it's amazing to me. I'm telling you now. And I tell the world this, if you do anything to my family, I'm going to kill you. I'm willing to die. If you're not willing to die, you might as well go ahead and die anyway because they're going to do it for you.
Walking zombies.
So that's where I'm at, and there's no threats. It's just a promise. I just believe that our ancestors have done too much for us to be lightly about this. We're too light. We're too so-called feeble-minded about this issue. This issue is our issue to fight. And
that's right.
This is the only issue. This is the only issue that we need to fight. We don't have to fight over whether you're going to get a Cadillac or whether you're going to get a house or whether you're going to get $1 million. Okay. We want it all.
Okay.
Our ancestors worked for it all. They took care of the land. I want the land. They took care of your bank account. We want the bank account. Okay. They took care of everything in this country. I want it. They took care of your. I don't want his children.
Well, I want them. Yeah, I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
I want what his children has. I want what's ours. You go to New Orleans. They just had this great festival down there, the Essence Festival, and they had hundreds of thousands of beautiful black women and men down there. And you're going to tell me right across the river, all these slave plantations.
Okay.
And these people, you've been there going down there for 26 years, and you still don't have a building to put your product in.
Go ahead.
That's right.
You're using
ahead.
their
Oh.
product.
That's right.
Your money is
Yep.
being taxed over and over, and you're giving it to the white man. The white man has always attached itself to great people. We are great people.
Okay.
We generate income. We are the ultimate
Yeah.
income maker.
Yeah.
We are the 16th largest index in the world.
Okay.
We are larger than large countries. Our index, our earning index is larger than countries. Half of Africa cannot earn the amount of money that we earn. They give all their money to the Europeans. Why haven't they given us any money? We're their descendants. We're their offspring.
Yeah.
So reparation is a huge thing. United States just don't owe reparation. The Native American owe reparation.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know, Europeans owe reparations.
That's
Started
right.
with them, the colonial superpowers. Africa owes, I don't believe it's reparation, I believe it's what you call inheritance.
Inheritance.
I believe that we should get our inheritance. And if you look at how the Europeans took care of the Jews, I believe that the Africans should be taking care of us. They come here and get education. They come here and get nurses and doctors' degrees, and they thumb their nose down at us. So it's unfortunate that they feel that way, but when they come here, they celebrate with the white man,
Yep.
and they talk about us. You're supposed to come here and celebrate with me,
Okay.
and allow the white man to question why you here.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Very good.
Wow. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back, and we're going to have more with our guest, Sharif Sheffi. We're going to unmic.
I know what it is. You got the FOG. You got the favor of God on your life. I guess that's it then.
Like Jesus paved the way, I'm just trying to be a clone. Yeah, I serve a king that's forever on the throne. Might see me rolling solo, but I'm never alone. So the places that I've been, I ain't get there on my own. It's been a lot of speculation, like I gotta give it to me. I am no one special, I just know I got that favor on me. You can look as close as you want and shine a light on my flaws. All you'll observe is a constant move of God. I'm in awe very often, gotta put a praise on it. There was a coffin with my name on it, God hand stayed on me, broke every chain on me. I'm amazed by His grace, homie. Redeemed, if you knew like I knew, you would serve Him too. And kick off the old garment, start running towards the mark, the crown that won't tarnish. You clean, wipe you down, no charm. I know you see the fall, that's the favor of God on me. That's the glory cloud going before me. That's grace and mercy following me. I know you see the fall, so turn your high and down. That's the favor of God on me. That's the glory cloud going before me. Grace and mercy following me. Yeah, I sing glory, glory, glory. Got the favor of God on me. Treat my Bible like my cell phone, man. I always got it on me. I be quick to use the data, flipping through the pages, dancing just like David, cause you only see me shining, you ain't see the tribulation. I used to be lost, down, bound. Now I'm a prisoner of praises. God's been so good, provider and protector, refuge in my shelter. Weather storms are raging like a hurricane or drier than a desert. Mountain top of valley, you won't ever see me stressing. The enemy got tactics, but I be fighting back with worship, that's my weapon. You see the glow of Moses, cause I'm always in His presence. He a lamp to my feet, I'm a sheep in His pasture. His heart I'm after, completely captured by it all. I know you see the fall, that's the favor of God on me. That's the glory cloud going before me. That's grace and mercy following me. I know you see the fall, so turn your high and low. That's the favor of God on me. That's the glory cloud going before me. Grace and mercy.
His name is Bill Lee and all that stuff.
Bill Lee. That's what we were here in the break talking about. Bill Lee, the governor of Tennessee, who signed the proclamation. When Sharif was over there discussing, I thought at first he meant that it was being considered. But in between the break and come back here, we've just discovered that this was signed. We can't even get a Malcolm X Day, a real Malcolm X Day, or Marcus Garvey Day, or Medgar Evers Day, or James Farmer Day. You know, we can't even get what's his name? James Baldwin Day. I'm just saying, I'm
Harriet
just throwing
Tubman.
up. I mean, we just no. Harriet Tubman, you want to put her on a
They
bill,
try- well, they
and then
talking
put
about
and then
Just
put
on one side.
on one side, and then
Yeah.
put a former slave
Yeah.
owner, and racist on the opposite side. You still don't want to relinquish. Like I said, if I got a Harriet Tubman, I tell you, I wasn't gonna have him. I was gonna take you. You couldn't give it to me at the cash register. You know how I am at the cash register when they don't put the money in my hands. The money sits there on the counter until
There
you
you
hand
go.
it to me back. I don't care what your line is doing or what. You don't put my money on the counter. I hand it to you in your hand. You're going to hand it back to me in my hand. I don't care if your line goes down the aisle and wrap around the building. I'll stand right there, and then you act like you're talking to me. I act like I don't even understand English. I start speaking a different language. I do.
Well, these are the little steps that we need to start incorporating in our lives, and you know, just stop accepting, you know, the little things that they do, their little innuendos and things that they do, such as, okay, put your money on the table. You hear a lot of black folks, they'll go out of their way to help a white folk, but you know, when it comes to helping that black person, they act like we don't exist for our own. What kind of mentality? Brother, like you were saying, if the bus pull up today or tomorrow, half of y'all niggas will be on it. Or just like Harriet Tubman, I could have freed a lot more slaves had they known they were slaves.
Well, we went to Atlanta, and we were, you know, vacation visiting our children and grandchildren and great grandchild.
Little shorty.
We were on the phone, and I mean, we were on the phone too. I could have been on the phone for longer, except for that I had to go, you know, hang with family festivities. And when he was talking about Callie House, I want you to tell our audience about Callie House, because I got upset about it, just hearing about how they did it, because we think this conversation of reparations is new. We think it's like 20th century, 21st century thing, and this isn't.
No. Kelly House was one of the original petitioners to petition Congress for reparations. And so she wrote up this document and, you know, did everything that she had to do, did her research work, and it was moving. It had people moving, had people alert. And you know, no sooner we get people alert, white folks do something to us. And she had a brother, Mr. Dixon. He was working with her. So they came up with this document, and they was passing this document around, and so getting people alert to, hey, they owe us money, we need to go and get it, blah, blah, blah. They wasn't collecting money. They was getting people alert to the knowledge, say, hey, we need to go and do this, and they stamped it with like a seal. And so they said that Mr. Dixon, they brought him up on charges stating that he committed mail fraud. And they tried to bring her up on that she was taking money. And come to find, neither one of them was guilty of anything other than alerting the people. And that's the long and short of it. So what happened was Ms. House and Mr. Dixon wound up losing their fight for getting reparations for our people, because they was, you know, enslaved, you know, again. And I believe something similar like that will happen to us again if we are not together. I look at how they destroyed the Panthers. The Panthers did a great job. The first pre-K schooling, home, you know, breakfast for the little people. They always talk about, they want to show like they're using guns. Every country has guns.
Please tell true.
If you go to the Native American lands out in the Midwest, you will see on their seal that they have weapons on their seal. They also have the animal. That means that they want to eat. They're gonna keep that animal. This is not gonna go out and hunt that animal because they want a trophy. They're gonna have that animal there to eat. And so the Native American reservations, they call them the Reds. I was in New Mexico, and this place was so much land. I mean, I drove miles and miles and miles into New Mexico, and I looked it up. It was between New Mexico and Arizona and Utah, they have something like over 17 million acres of land.
That's a lot of land.
That's a lot of land just in those three 3 states, and we have nothing.
Although they had that great big Sooner rush, and then they let everybody hit those territories and where you could stake your claims where you got it, but they didn't allow blacks to do that, and then they didn't even free blacks were, and these were territories that were not territories that had slavery, and they also allowed immigrants to come here and do the same thing, participate in that same boom. I was looking at that National Ex-Slavery Mutual Relief bounty and pension. What really disturbed me too was that I found out that the case that they charged with the postal fraud, it never was found. They never were proven guilty of it. They never were proven guilty. He ended up being the charge released off him, but you arrested her and imprisoned her. Hundreds of thousands of members. They had hundreds of thousands. This is without internet. This is without a telephone. This is without a cell phone. So you all don't have no excuse. This is without that. They had hundreds of thousands of members. And this is 1899, 1897. And they didn't have cars. They didn't have a jitney that you can get. You didn't have an Uber, which I'll never use. I never. Sidebar that real quick with Uber. The reason why I don't use an Uber and Lyft is because I remember growing up and there were black men who used to drive around. They were called jitneys. We called this person. He'd go take my grandma to the grocery store and drop you off, and then you remember, and then come back, pick your mama up, pick your grandmama up, and then that's right. And then they load your groceries in the car and everything.
I was young.
They got scrammed out of business because they were told, you don't have a license, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have. But here's the deal. Every black man back then had to have a chauffeur's license because that's what they expected you to do. My dad had a chauffeur's license. He never chauffeured anybody in his life. But every black man that had a driver's license, they put that chauffeur's license endorsement on it. A lot of people didn't see it. I saw it, and I looked at several black men that I knew growing up. They all had that on there. So you took the jobs away that black people were making honest living. So now you change it and you flip the script, you find a way around it, and now it's Uber and Lyft and whatever. And
profiting off of it.
That's our innovation.
That's us.
You got to understand, we have invented some of everything.
Nope.
I actually forgot. When you said it, I remember, right? But I forgot because I had seen that since I was a kid. I remember now when you said that, it like a mother used to call and to ride up to the giant.
That's
on 7th
right.
Street
Take you to the store, take you to the doctor's office, pick up your child. There was one used to pick me up from school and take me to my grandma's house, Mr. Jake Gordon.
Man.
Mr. Jake Gordon. He used to pick me up from school.
Just like the numbers.
That's right.
Just like
that's right. Mr. Hope Doe.
These are just like bootlegging.
Right.
All of this stuff. My granddad was a bootlegger. He made plenty
My
of money.
great-granddad.
But at the end of the day, they locked us up for being innovative. We are very innovative people, just like right now. This is what we're doing right now. We are in the fronts. We're in the front seat of this stuff right here. This technology that we're using. And if we use it right, we're going to take American TV to extinct.
And didn't we just discuss this last night? I'm going to let you go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we have the tools now to where we can reach more people.
Hundreds of thousands.
But you know something, we have to come together on a common cause. They want to show some shiggity fighting each other nonsense. But imagine, if you will, if we use that worldwide.
But it also says something about black people. When you even click on to watch the movie, watch the little fight, if you click on, if you pass it and share it, say, hey man, check this out, this is as funny as blah, 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 you're just as guilty. You're just guilty. They don't get the views if you don't give it to them. Positive or negative, views still count as views. So they don't get them if you don't. So that's what people understand. I was thinking about, what's his name? Robert F. Williams. He used to be the president of the NAACP in Monroe, North Carolina. That's the home of the Haley family, Jodeci and KC. And shout out to the folks back at the church at the corner where we always sing with the dirt floor. Anyway, this man got with the National Rifle Association and had a chapter for blacks to arm themselves to protect themselves against the KKK. It was so bad that then they ended up pressing charges against him. The United States pressed charges. He and his wife had to leave the country. And where did they go? They went to Cuba until they were able to settle the case, and he came back. But the idea is that type of activism, we need to really tap into it and just elevate it to a different level, because you figure if he was down there and he had he wrote this book in 1962 called Negroes with Guns. If you ever get a chance, pick it up. Negroes with Guns. It's a bad book from a bad man, but people had never heard of him. People never heard of it. But we are our own worst enemy, and we are our own best advocate. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's actually real legit. Yeah.
But they cancel each other out, and so you get nothing.
Well, we had this, Talib Saber was here a few weeks ago, and shout out to you. I hope you have a wonderful time. We'll be glad to see you soon. He said, when we were talking about how we were taught we had measure up to Caucasian folks, and he said, wait a minute, why is that being used as the measure? You know,
To be equal.
We're equal too. So, so
we want to be equal.
Yeah, so
well, they perpetrated that because look at every ethnic group that comes here. Try to emulate that.
Because
like that's the
what
perfect
happens
image.
is, without even realizing it, they've made us believe that our greatest power is something you can see, right? But our greatest power is in here. God gave us everything we needed to be everything that we are. That's why, like I said last night, they copy the trends, they copy the music, they copy the like everything, and like you said, they'll gel us and then wait 30 years. And then take our idea and act like it was theirs. Because like I said, when y'all said about the car thing, like I forgot about. I had to be, man, I couldn't have been no more 4 or 5 when that stopped. It maybe 6 or 7, maybe. But I hadn't thought about it since then until you just said something, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well,
If you look at the blue jeans,
oh yeah,
blue jeans.
Blue jeans.
You remember back in the day,
the pants.
your grandparents would put a patch in your jeans.
Yep.
Right.
Right? We will bleach the side of the jeans or put the fringe on it. These are the very things that they're selling now for $200, $300.
Right.
Those are our ideas.
Yeah.
You know, everything that we have touched. You look at the young man Zion Williams, for example. Why is it that a white man is the only one that can bring him into prominence? He already got the talent. We don't need Coach K. He didn't need Coach K. So
yeah, he had 2 million followers on social media before he even got to high school. Listen, like you said, everything.
White man want to attach himself to something great because he's not great. He's never been great.
That's right.
And you, in everyday life, you can walk and see how he have attached themselves to us and became wealthy. And it's unfortunate that we are not detaching his butt from us.
I want to say that, but now we should not have an excuse for this whole movement of reparation. And I'm saying that to say is because me personally, I'm tired of hearing people talk. Talking meaning, what I'm saying is that, you know, we got to make a stand. We have to, you know, there's too many people that's talking about reparation, but, you know, I really think that it may boils down to some serious physical and mental, not necessarily maybe the military or something, but it may be a lot of street fighting, you know, like even today we see that already. But I think it's going to get real serious as time move on if we stay on code. And if we don't stay on code, but there's going to be a few, like my brother said, that want to get on that bus. I think there's going to be quite a few that want to get on that bus.
But the time is now for the time for marching. That worked in the &60s. You know, so we have to change our tactics like they've changed their tactics. You know what I mean? And that they've incorporated some of us to infiltrate us.
But that's the change, and not to cut you off, but that's what we're about to do. That's what we're going to do. We got to do we got to take what they did, because the reason why they're able to continue to breed hate generation after generation after generation is because they, Go ahead.
Okay, there you go.
Get
excited. But you need to be excited. We need to be excited. But you know something? I keep saying the revolution will be televised, and they're showing you in your face, and y'all still. What this man represents is part of the tragedy and the horrendous things that was perpetrated against a human being. And how can you sit up and kill another dang black man? I'm trying. Another dang black man over a
hold on, I can
tennis shoe.
I can finish the sentence.
Color.
A color that you didn't make, a street that isn't named after you,
that's
a
a
street that
killer.
you don't own. But we got to wrap this up. I'm sorrowful that we do, because Shirley, get your point out real quick.
Well, I'm just saying I take it personal because, as his brother was saying, this involves my mother, my father, their parents, on and on, lineage and lineage. And if black people don't want to stand up for their family, this is personal. It can be business if you want to make it, but it's personal. That we have to stand up because this is something that we got to do.
Sharif, what's going on next with you?
Well, I'll be leaving for Ghana August the 3rd, and I'll be there, and then from there I'm going to Benin, then I'm going to Senegal. If I got a little bit more coins, I'm going to try to go to Mali. But my main focus right now, outside of Ghana, is to raise enough money, at least $250,000, to file a lawsuit for atrocities that took place in our country here against the United States. I want to file an international lawsuit in The Hague against the United States for the atrocities. There's a lot of people talk this game. We got to put it outside of the rim of the United States, leaving it in their hands, and having us to do all these studies and things like that, and like you don't know, you know. You young man, I'm pretty sure you can go to Facebook, you can go to anywhere and learn about reparations right now. You can learn about slavery at your fingertip. We don't need another study.
Okay.
We don't need no more marching. Like this sister just said, there's going to be some physical repercussions.
How can they find you?
Well, you can find me at the Freedom Fighters of the DMV. My phone number is 202-487-7778, and my website is the Freedom Fighters of the DMV at gmail.com. And you also can go to GoFundMe and tap in there and see slavery. Never forget that slavery was real, and drop 50 cents in there, and that's all I ask for, 50 cents. Just drop 50 cents because this is a goal for everybody. That money would definitely be used towards filing a lawsuit against the United States, and that's who I am. My phone number is 202-487-7778. If you don't like me, fine, you can call me. If you do like me, fine, you can call me. Either way, I'm going to be okay. I believe that Allah got my back, and there's only one creator, so that's what I believe in.
All right. Thank you so much. We have to shout out real quick to Infinity Speaks. This coming Wednesday, you can find Vox Wave out there at the VFW 9619. It's located at 6527 Suitland Road. It'll be from 11 to 3. It's a resource day. If you want to get some information about benefits, file a claim, come on out there. We usually have a really good time. There's a lot of vendors out there, some crisis management persons out there, individuals talking about anything that you need as a veteran. Also, Saturday on the 20th of July from 12 to 6 at the Emergence Community Arts Collective. That's 733 Euclid Street, Northwest, Washington, D.C. is a Shrub Life Festival. It's a plant-based celebration. And the last thing we have is on that same day at the Appeal, which is over at the Thurgood Marshall Center at 1816 12th Street, Northwest. There's a presentation called Afro-Europeans, the African Diaspora in Europe. And that will be from 10:30 to 12:30. So what you do is you can go to Appeal from 10:30 to 12:30. Then afterwards, go over to 733 Euclid. Until then, come see us next week. Same time, same space.
Station.
Abstract
And
excellence.
Ron, take us home.
Do what you do.
All right.